Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are here to talk about how brands can make their events effective, from staffing to um, swag. And to take it away, it's Vic who's going to be leading today's discussion. So go ahead.
All right. Good morning, or I guess it's still good morning, all. I'm going to have a little bit of chat today on boot traffic to real leads, sort of staffing and swag that helps you convert. So, what do we have here? So, let's chat a little bit about it. So, just a little bit about IMI. We've been around for quite a while, since for about 50 years now. We have we have a database of 50,000 different studies that we look at. We look at everything from before to confirming, sort of helping you learn about it, confirming what's going to work, and then execution. So this falls into that execution bucket that you would see here on the event side. If we look at our event database, we're looking at 2,500 plus events that we've looked at over the years for different things all across the globe: South America, North America, the EU, Australia, APAC, covered events in a lot of different places. I've done some pretty interesting events myself over the year. So today we want to talk about, there's lots of different things that go into an event, but one of the things that when you go to an event, a few things are the people that work there and the stuff that people give away. So I'm guessing we got a few people who's signing up to this event. So I wanted to throw it out there. We can get to this a little bit later, but I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff that was given away at an event that I recently went to. And I wanted to know, for you guys, what's the best, worst, the weirdest thing that you've ever received at an event? For me, interestingly enough, I'll just throw it out there. It was actually an event I did in Russia. Got myself very candid. It was at Heineken House. Very fun night, but as you can imagine, Heineken House, Dutch, EDM, all the music going, the speed skaters, everyone in orange, and they gave away these glow sticks. Think about an EDM festival. Very fun night, really interesting giveaway, but that's the one that came to mind for me first. So just as a little bit of background, when IMI looks at events, we look at three key pillars. We look at the reach and efficiency. So if you're going to an event, are you talking to the right people? So if you are a food company, are you with people who like your food? If you're an auto manufacturer, are you somewhere where there are people looking to buy cars? Banking. If you're a B2B, are you at an event, or are you at an event where the people that are trying to buy your product are? Effectiveness. So what's the impact on their attitudes and behaviors? Are they going to increase consideration of your product? And then finally, cost effectiveness. And then when we look at that, we compare this all to the IMI database, and we look at, your scorecards that you have. So today's focus is going to be helping you with your effectiveness. So when the idea for this actually came, I was at an event, SLAS, the Society for Lab Automation and Screening. It's if you think about some of the medical things that go on out there in the world, the testing they do if you have a sickness, there's all the machinery that goes behind in a hospital, and some of it that goes there. So this may not be something that is something that all of you will be familiar with, but if you think about any event that you go to, they're speaking to the right people. They have labs, lab technicians, all those kind of things. But the effectiveness is something that we want to think about and I'm talking about today. So how do you leverage your show's giveaways and staffings to ensure that you increase your effectiveness? People are going to come to your booth. They're going to do different things, and they're going to talk to you, and you want to send them away with something that helps you remember them. And do you do that in a cost-effective manner? So two of the things that you need to worry about are, one, what are you giving away, but making sure you have the right staff at your event. So it really came to me when I was at this event that there really are two different groups. And sometimes when you go to, I'll think about it, a more consumer-friendly event, you have, those outgoing people, you have, they bring you in, they talk to you, they're there. But when you go to, for example, at a B2B event, what you don't want is the quiet, shy, passive, unengaged, the person on the left. And I can tell you, going around the show, 500 different booths, all these different people, the number of times that I walked by, I looked at someone and they were just down. They were looking on their phone. They weren't paying attention. They didn't talk to you. They didn't do anything. it wasn't very good. Now, what you do want is, I mean, this is a brand called Revity on the right. They had very approachable, confident, knowledgeable, proactive, appropriately dressed, which is something that sometimes you have it at different things and that you need to consider, but it's what you want to look at. Um, all event staff, doesn't matter B2B, B2C, you have to have someone that's going to engage. They actively go out of their way to bring people into your booth and in your booth area. They're willing to approach strangers, start conversations. And that's not everyone. Not everyone can do that. There's a lot of people that are shy. They're a little more quiet. They won't do that. But when you're at a B2B event, and this is a little bit different, you also require product knowledge. So they have to be able to speak credibly about what you have there. It's one thing if I've got if I've got a pack of Trident and like, oh, here you go, it's sugar free. You don't have to have any training there. Well, if I've got a $100,000 machine that's sitting there and I've got a scientist talking to me, what does it do, and all those kind of details, you have that. Now, the one area that and what I did notice, and it's something that we've seen, is um, that you have to have someone that's a product specialist. And a lot of times when you do an event, for example, this one was in Boston, by the way, great town, awesome for walking around, love to go back. But when you do, you bring your product specialist in because it's the local person, or the local sales guy comes in and does it, but it's not necessarily the right person. So you want to make sure that you have that person who is also outgoing. So something to think about. Just bringing the local person or the easy person isn't necessarily the right thing. You have to have that person that has the personality that goes with it. So making sure you have the right people manning your booth is critical to getting it. So now part two is how to optimize your giveaways or your swags or your trinkets that are going to go with your booth. And we've all been to shows, and it's pretty standard. Everyone has, and if you go to a home show, you go to a B2B show, you go to an event, sort of you're walking around, you're seeing all the booths, people have like a little candy display and they give things away. But if you think about the event itself and what people are going to remember, aside from your product, is they're going to bring something home or you're going to give them something. And you want to make sure that you're doing something that's going to help your activation and actually make it better. So there's three key factors that help you optimize your event merch. So one, ensure that it's useful at the event itself. So at this event, really interesting, huge footprint. You think about like a big conference center that you're going at. You're walking around all day. There's lots of different things. So you want to think about something that can enhance your attendees' experience at the event. So had a few great examples where we came. The Danaher folks are nice enough. You're walking around all day. You don't have something to drink. Very high quality water bottle. They also gave away a fantastic cloth bag. Sometimes people give away, those grocery bags you get at the grocery store where 20 cents or whatever, the thing falls apart. It's not very good. This was a great one. Only thing I'd say is, you could, for Danaher, think about on your bag, you also had all the brands that are supporting. You could do that on the water bottle as well. Tecan was another brand there. Interesting thing, helping enhance it. You're walking around all day. People are there for multi-days. They had the cappuccino coffee station that they were giving everyone or event attendees free coffee for their folks. And then, as you can see, nicely branded with their brand, so it goes away. So you're enhancing that experience. Also, a company called Simplicis. At these shows, there's always, when you go to a conference, there's always like booth sessions and things and learning labs that you can go to and that people can see that. So what they offered was something really simple. Here's a pen, here's a little notepad, here's the timing for our events, and on the back, you were able to put your comments and put all your questions there. So again, you're enhancing what their experience is and making it better for them. Now, something like the water bottle that I'd shown here, really great. Very handy, but also a dollar figure to it. So something that you need to think about when you're doing this is maybe you tier what your giveaways are. So if you have something that's a lower value, maybe you have a notepad or something like that. Something a little bit less, or some pens. It's like, okay, you can do that, but if you want the water bottle, here you have to go through a demo or something to that effect. So number two is, will they use it when they get home? So great things there. Obviously you're going to use the water bottle when you go, but are there things that you're going to use when you get home? Sonovo, another brand, gave away an umbrella. Great for it there. Comes in of course, this biomedical conference, so kind of interesting. Here you have an umbrella, comes in a case, pops out. Very handy. My wife loves this thing actually because you can put it away, does not get wet. You don't have to leave it at the front there. Things like carabiners for your keys, which remarkably my hotel actually had a key here, so came in very handy. And then, as I said, we have a couple, giving away some high quality notebooks. So this is something that lives on the desk when you get home. It is something that you will use. The folks at Abcam, another company, giving away a nice quality notebook here, something that will be used and will be used in the future. Now you have other things that you're giving away, and you're like, okay, here you go. You got your sunglasses. Like, I don't know. Are you going to use these into the future? The stress ball. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm stressed out. Here I go. I think this is it. This was kind of an interesting one. Good for my cat, I guess. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's something that's there, but is it something post-event that you're going to do? It's cute and it's there, and maybe it goes in your bag, but it's not there. And again, you have to be timely, and you have to have something that you use. There was a brand that gave away koozies for drinks. At this event, maybe not fantastic. However, was had someone that was at Glastonbury, big music festival in the UK, and it was a small brand, and they gave away koozies. Fantastic for driving brand awareness for them. Now, everyone who's buying a drink at a music festival, it's there. It's the right place and the right time, making something that helps the people that are at the event, and it's timely for them, and they can use it when they get home. There's other things you're not necessarily sure whether they're going to use it when they get home or they don't. And then there's the ROI, and this is the big thing. So it's really easy to say, but it's something that you need to consider as you go forward. So it's one that often gets ignored. You're going to do this and you put it out. I have, for this event, I got a stack of pens. They're kind of neat. They're there. Some have some fun on top. We give those all away. I have, got a bunch of stickers, always, kind of interesting. But again, I'm spending money on these kind of things and I'm giving them away. I don't necessarily know what that value is longer term. Does it actually do anything? Is it something that goes? And it's not, like I said, it's not a big cost. There's still the booth space. There's your setup. There's your floor. There's your signage. There's all sorts of things that goes through. But it's something that you need to think about as far as this is an additional cost. This is going to be something that's at your event that you're going to go and you're going to have to deal with, and it just adds. So if you're going to do this, you need to think about, okay, we're much better off to give a smaller number of perceived high value items. And again, the value point is there than the low giveaway. So do you want, I have a pen that I got from a company called Zendesk from a conference that I was at. It was, came in a nice box, and I'm still using this thing 6 months later. It's fantastic. Same conference that I was at, this SLAS conference, I grabbed a pen, was writing down some notes on one of the nice notebooks that someone had given away, and it literally lasted 6 boosts, ran out, and I'm like, this is, it's a negative experience now. Someone's given me this pen. It's lasted 100 feet down the aisle, and I'm throwing this thing away. So if you want someone to remember you and think about your event and think about your brand and be able to take something away with you as you're doing it, go for that higher quality item. It's going to outperform the mass market thing. Yes, you can print, you can print 1 million of these stickers and give them to everyone that walks away, or have a bucket of Werther's candies, but nobody's going to remember your booth because they had a Werther's candy as they walked by. They're going to remember you when they're sitting at their desk and they're writing down something, or they put their keys, or they're drinking from that water bottle every single time. So let's cover real quickly some event merch best practices. Relevance. So thinking about the event that you're at, it has to be something that reinforces your brand equity, but it also helps with the event itself. It's relevant to them, so it goes. So at the conference that I was at, someone gave away a wet bag. I don't quite know where this fits. Like, there's some value, and or for someone that's going to be there, I think it's neat. Some people, that camp may think it's a great thing, but I'm not necessarily sure for something at a medical conference what that tie-in is. Utility, you need something that's useful. So tech accessories. The folks at Gene Data were really nice. They gave away a multi-charger. You go on the road, you forget something to charge your AirPods, or you forget something to charge your mouse, or your phone even. This, something you're going to have, it's going to go in your computer bag, it's there. Now, if you get your generic, your pens, your stress ball, your squeezy guy, like, there's not a lot of utility there, or it's not something that you're going to think of. Number 3, have something that has perceived value. It creates a stronger impression than a table full of your forgettable things. So putting a pack of Trident with a sticker on the back of a pack of Trident, someone's going to chew their gum, they're going to do it, it gets thrown in the garbage, it's gone. And then number 4, branding. So the design matters as much as the item itself, right? So you can give away something and it can have some branding on there, but people don't want to be a walking billboard. So they don't mind some subtle branding, but it doesn't, you can't be screaming your brand on something. They have to be something, it's like, okay, I don't mind wearing this, or I don't mind using this, but it doesn't have to be like something neon green or neon yellow and going, hey, look at me. And then finally, logistics. And logistics goes 2 ways. One is for the exhibitors. If you're giving away something, so, water bottles, great. The umbrella that I show, these are really cool and really interesting, but they take up space. And that's something you have to think about from an exhibitor standpoint, and what you're going to have there and what you're going to be on premise, because you can't have 100 water bottles sitting there. That's going to take up some room. So you have to think about something that is going to be useful, but also in the floor space that you have takes care of that. Now, for the items that you're giving away, you also have to think about what people need to bring home. These are people that are traveling to an event, or they're going to an event. So if you're giving away, as I said, if you're giving away a notepad, a carabiner, something small like that, it's really not that big a deal. If you're giving away some bigger items and they want to take, that's a little bit challenging. Now, they also have to be something that's, like I said, easily packable, and they got to be airline friendly. This was one of the things that was given to me, which was, honestly, I was like, okay, this is kind of a tool. It's got a bottle opener. It's it fits on your keychain, but it's also got a box cutter, which I wasn't actually sure I was going to be able to get this home. Turns out, airport guy did pull my bag over and did have a look at it, but I guess because it was folded up, I was lucky enough to get it through. So remember, whatever you do has to be able to make it through airport security. So anyhow, that wraps it up. Like I said, very short and sweet LinkedIn Live here for you guys to think about your event merch and the staffing that you have there. Just to recap, you need your staff. They got to be personable, but they also got to have product knowledge. Interesting balance that you have between the two. And on our end, stay in touch, please. You'll see on the final page here, and we will send out the deck, and it will be posted online on our site, so anybody can take a look at it and have a review for if you didn't get a chance to see it live today. You can sign on for our newsletter, or if you want to get in touch with me directly to chat about anything, just scan the code there and take you to my LinkedIn profile. And that wraps it up for today. Unless anybody has any questions, which going through, I think we're good. So hope everyone has a good day, and thanks for coming out today.